Welcome to our first episode of Engaging Kitsap, a new positive local forum where we hope to bring engaging people, ideas, and organizations into our BCAT studio. Harriet Bryant, along with Vicki Collins and Ann Newson, are the founders and operators of Our Gems, a mentoring program designed to empower young women here in Kitsap County. Harriet?
Yes.
You started with just Ridgetop Middle School, and now you're in 20 schools in 5 districts.
Yes.
Please tell us the mission of Our Gems and a little bit about when and why you got started.
Absolutely. So we started in 2008. I started out with a group of community members in 2008. And what happened was the male mentors were mentoring the young boys over at Ridgetop. And so he approached me and said, you know, the girls would like a mentor. Would you be interested? And I said, absolutely, I would. And so what happened is we went through that whole year of mentoring a group of 7th graders. And so the next year, my original group did not come back, and so I approached Vicki Collins, and she at the time was the president of the Bremerton School District Board. And so I told her, she said she was getting ready to get off the board. You know, her tenure was up, and I said, I got first dibs at you. And so she did, and I approached her, and she said yes, and I was super excited. And so the mission for Our Gems is to empower our young ladies. We want them to be empowered to do whatever they want. You know, they're brilliant, they're beautiful. You know, we want them to become our future leaders in Kitsap County and beyond. So our mission is just to get behind them, support them, and let them do their thing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Vicki, have you noticed that there's a change in the need for young people nowadays versus when you started?
Not so much, because we do focus on social emotional learning competencies, which we used to call soft skills. So those soft skills are still needed. What we found is that, well, perhaps because of social media's presence, there is a sense of loneliness or isolation. We're building that sisterhood, giving them those skills that they need, and those skills are timeless. So I don't think there's ever an expiration date on providing those skills to our young people.
I have to ask you, Harriet, this is a question that immediately popped up when I knew I was going to be able to meet you ladies.
Yes.
Did you have a mentor growing up? And if so, how did that influence how important mentoring is to Our Gems?
Well, you know, growing up in Kansas, and actually in Wichita, Kansas, I went to an all-black elementary school. And so all of our teachers were mentors to us, which was great. And I thought, if I didn't have them, I probably wouldn't be who I am today, because they started early with us, and they made sure that we had good manners. They made sure that we had good academic skills. They made sure that we had good behavior skills, all those soft skills that Vicki talked about. Our teachers, all of our teachers, gave that to us and poured that into our lives. You know, even being left-handed, you know, I was not allowed to turn my hand. They told me how to write to look professional, and I was in 3rd grade. And so our teachers were great mentors.
Wow, you were very fortunate.
Yes.
When did Our Gems expand into Our Gents?
Well, that was a quite natural progression. With us mentoring young ladies, the gentlemen were interested in the young ladies, and Harriet would often tell them, no, you're not ready for our young ladies, because they're empowered young women and they're looking for empowered gentlemen. So they, of course, said, well, can we have a group as well? Which then became Our Gents. So we are growing those young men, coming alongside them, just like we are doing for the young ladies. Our Gents is short for Our Gentlemen.
Well, that's wonderful. It says a lot about the program if the gentlemen were saying, hey, we want a part of it too. How many mentors do you have now then in Our Gems and Our Gents? And how do you know if somebody will be a good mentor?
Well, we started out with the 3 of us, and then Angelia moved to Spokane, and she'd come back and assist and support Vicki and I. And then we just started reaching out to the community, and we ended up with about 10 or 12, which is good. And because we're group mentors, we we mentor in groups. We don't need a whole lot of mentors. So it's about 3 or 4 of us in the classrooms with the students, and we all have our own assigned positions. And so it works out great. And so what we do is we make sure that background checks are done. We make sure that they have a passion for it. And we also make sure that they have the commitment. Because without the commitment, we couldn't do this kind of work. We have to be committed to see our students through their school year and beyond. And we are committed to building those relationships. And so that's what we look for in a good mentor. And we explain all that in the beginning. If you can't commit to at least a year or 2 at the minimum, we would love to have you longer. And most of our mentors has been with us probably 5 to 10 years.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So beyond the background checks and things like that, is there a skill or an aptitude or a way of thinking that you're looking for a mentor?
There is. We're always looking for that because they have to have the passion. They have to have the passion to watch them grow and become brilliant adults, coming back to give back to their community. And so most of our young ladies and our young men, they are actually working on their masters. They did not stop.
Wow.
And that's exciting to us, and it's rewarding. As a matter of fact, one of our young ladies reached out to us. She had just finished her bachelor's, and she's traveling all over the world doing, her whatever it is that she's doing in college. And she wanted to have lunch with us. And we haven't seen her in probably 4 years. 4 years. One of our other mentors invited us to her wedding. She just turned 25 and married a wonderful gentleman. And so we went to North Carolina to attend her wedding. So they don't forget, and we cannot forget. And so that's kind of what we look for in our mentors, to make sure that we stay there for the long haul.
From a young person's perspective, Vicki, why would they want to be involved with our GEMS and our GENTS, and what would they anticipate learning or achieving?
We would love them to know that they have an inherent brilliance, that the brilliance is already there. So when they're walking in, they are jewels, and each one of them are precious. Each one of them is valuable. They all have their own shine, as they say, their own brilliance, and we are there to just walk alongside them, helping them to hone or polish the skills that are already within them. So they're coming in to get a sisterhood relationship, a brotherhood relationship with the guys, and they're coming in to get those soft skills, get their confidence and self-esteem built up so that they can face that world. And we have fun. Yes. Boy, do we have fun. Yes. And plus we give snacks. That's always a draw, right?
It is.
I love that.
Yeah.
So the achievements that they can anticipate and the learning they can anticipate is very individualized, it sounds like.
Yes, exactly. And they learn to advocate for themselves and advocate for each other. There was a time when we went into the school and they had their schedules changed, and we missed the email. So we were on the old schedule. And so we got there and it was over. But they held the class themselves. They said, Miss Harriet, Miss Vicki, we did the class. We just didn't have the snacks.
That's when you know how important the snacks are.
Exactly. But they can run that class without us. And that's one of our missions, is for them to take that leadership role. And so we don't have to worry about it.
Must have felt good to know that you'd achieved that.
Yes, very much so.
Do you have a favorite story about an RGEMS or RGENTS participant that really warms your heart?
I do. We had one young lady that she would actually come to class, but she never talked. She was just quiet. She wouldn't say anything. And one time I got a one-on-one with her, and I said, you come to class every time we meet. I said, when we're a minute late, you're texting saying, are you coming? I said, but you don't say anything. And she says, I'm just watching. She says, because I want to make sure that you're going to be there for me. She said, because growing up, when we go on vacation, we never went back home. And so, I just wanted to make sure that you're not going to go away. And we told her we will never leave her. We went everywhere with her. She actually played 5 different instruments.
Oh my
She
goodness.
made all the state recitals. She played at Benaroya Hall. We went to every single recital. And then that's how we ended up going to the wedding. So, yes. And then, Vicki, tell about Maya.
Maya, of course, I was just thinking about Maya. Maya came to our group, and after her time was up, she written this beautiful letter, and she said in the letter, my mother gave you a scared, broken little girl, and you gave her back a strong, brilliant, loving woman. And boy, did I bawl.
I was going to say.
I bawled. I could not help myself. And so we get those stories just like that, and it just warms your heart, and it becomes the fuel that keeps you going. You're making that impact.
Wonderful.
I know. Yeah.
Well, how rewarding for the two of you and for all the mentors involved
Right.
too, to see the impact that you can
Yes.
have. The story you were telling, you probably didn't realize that trust was the most important thing that
Absolutely.
individual needed, and I guess
Yes.
each person needs a little something different.
Yes,
Right?
trust and relationship. And just she has a wonderful family that supports her, and we love that, and we stay in contact with the parents. So it's just that we love what we do, and I think they love what we do, and we love what they do.
Well, a win-win for everybody
Yes.
in the community. Well, thank you for being our first guests
Yes.
on Engaging Kitsap. And one last question for you. How can a young person or parent learn about our GEMS, and what's the process for participating and getting involved?
Well, most of the time it's word of mouth, and we also rely on the counselors in the schools. The counselors reach out and let us know. We want them very brilliant, not so brilliant. We want them social, not so social. We want a diverse group so that they can learn from each other. And it works out perfect. We reach out to the principals. The principals are very welcoming for us to come into their schools. And most of them are siblings. So we're getting siblings now. We had one young lady that we had when she was in 7th grade, graduated, went on to college, where she has a little sister that came up that was probably 6 or 7 years younger. She was so excited when she hit the 6th grade because she knew that she could join our gyms like her
Right.
big sister.
Right.
And so word of mouth is really, and the counselors is really what we look forward to, those connections. I don't know, Vicki, you want to add
And
to
our
that?
website as well, oru-gems.org. And you can find us as well on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. And the applications to become a mentor, they're on our website.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure talking with you today. And congratulations on the success of your program. And also, thank you for what you're doing for the
Absolutely.
community.
And if I could just do one more plug, we are getting ready to do our big gala. We are celebrating 15 years.
15 years,
15
congratulations.
years. And so we will hold our gala, and where we bring all of our young ladies and a parent under one roof at the Marvin Williams Center, and we celebrate them. And Vicki, share the awards that we give out.
Oh, we give out Emerging Leadership Awards, Community Service Awards, Scholar Athlete Awards, Distinguished Board Director Award. So our girls nominate each other for Most Improved and all of those rewards. And we then reward them. They don't know. It's surprising
exactly.
as they do a ballot, and we count those ballots. And on the day of, they're rewarded. They have a nice sit-down luncheon, all kinds of gifts, swag bags, gift cards, and an empowered speaker comes to speak to the young ladies as
So
well.
you're more than welcome to attend.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, so November 26, 2022,
Okay.
we will be at the Marvin Williams Center celebrating our Brilliance Awards Gala.
Do you do that every year?
Yes.
I bet you it's your favorite event of the year, isn't it?
It
Lots of hugs,
is.
lots
Oh
of
my
warm
gosh. And they-
smiles,
yes.
and probably some tears.
Yeah, and they perform. The girls are performers. They sing, they dance, they play music.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and we have a guest speaker.
Well, thank you for bringing that up.
Yes.
Thank you for the invitation as well.
Absolutely.
And just thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
We were honored.
And thank you, viewers, for joining us for our first episode of Engaging Kitsap. Hope you'll join us again as we bring in engaging guests, ideas, and organizations into our BCAT studio.